A man is worth more than his salary and his member size? All right, nature lesson, and here we go.
Never trust the intentions of strangers. Especially nomadic males.
Okay, so just to set this up, what we're seeing here are these are some lone lions who have caught a lioness alone by herself, okay? And we're going to see what happens here.
Her scent has betrayed her.
Okay, so we see what's happening here. This is a lion who's out by herself all alone, and she's caught the attention of a lone lion, a stranger lion, and we see what's going to happen here, right?
You cannot escape this. To reject him would be a death sentence.
Okay, so this is basically what happens in the wild, in nature, when I hate to say the weaker sex because of the year that we're in, but when a female is uncovered and a male comes along and notices that she's uncovered, and should he choose to have his way with her, as we're seeing in this situation, that's kind of what happens in the wild, right? Let's keep watching.
But the king follows his queen's trail. No one steals the queen.
Okay, so what we saw what happened here. We could watch the rest of it, but the male lion is going to come out victorious. I'll let you watch this without the sound while I speak on it. But what this video illustrates is how important it is for a woman to have the covering of a man. That is, by definition, what marriage is for, right? And when it's not marriage, it's the males in your pride. It's your brothers, it's your fathers, your grandfathers, your uncles. Those are the men that are going to make sure that the females of the group are taken care of, right? So yeah, so you can see that's what happens in the wild, right? In this case, it's the king, it's the male lion who comes along and takes care of his mate. And that is why we pair up, especially for mammals. Mammals tend to have a nature of pairing up to spend their lives together, or even or furthermore to raise their youth together, right? And so we live in a society that's kind of told us that the only men that have value are men that make a lot of money, men that are of a certain stature, or men that have a long member length, right? And so you've kind of seen manhood get boiled down to how much money do you make, how appealing are you to the eye, and how good do you perform in the bedroom. But there's a part of manhood that's kind of been overlooked, and that part of manhood is simply covering. Now I want you to watch this TikTok video, and I want you to see what it looks like when, and this is a nurse. This is a nurse, and she herself is not uncovered, or at least not for what I can tell. But as a nurse, she has had a lot of contact with people that have not had the covering, and you can see it wearing on her. So let's take a listen to this video.
Okay, guys, you gonna have to excuse me, because I'm extremely upset right now. But we gotta protect our women. We gotta stick together, and we gotta keep putting this out there. And I'm gonna keep putting every incident out here until enough women know that they gotta watch their surroundings. Enough women know to take this serious. I got too many people coming on my page talking about they think it's a joke. Well, let me tell you how much of a joke it's not, okay?
Okay, so you can see she's distraught because apparently she's seeing a lot of incidents where women are ending up in, you know, in her nursing unit, and they've been taken advantage of. They're in a very poor situation. Now, I can't speak to all of the women in those situations, but what I can speak to is the fact that if a woman is properly covered by a man, and a man is looking after her, she is less likely, as a matter of fact, she's much less likely to end up in a situation where she's getting taken advantage of, because that guy's going to take the bullet first, and she's going to have a chance to get away, and it's going to be the guy in the room. But she's not here crying about seeing a large number of men in the emergency room. She's seeing a large portion of disadvantaged women. Now, I want you to listen to some of the particulars of this situation and understand the relation it has to the first video.
That a woman coming to the ER a couple of hours ago, okay? She was brought in by an ambulance. This woman went to the bar with her friend, and they did breathalyzer, and we drew blood to check her alcohol level, okay? This woman had one drink. The drink barely even registered. What registered was something was put in her drink. Now, y'all people running around here with this damn liquid freaking fentanyl and this freaking these tablets and this stuff that's similar to chloroform that y'all are putting in these women's drinks, and y'all are doing this stuff to these women. You need to die. You belong in hell.
Okay, so what she's really saying is, and I'm not sure which men she's speaking to, but it kind of sort of sounds like she's speaking to men in general, but she might be speaking directly to the quote unquote predator guys, the guys that are doing this kind of stuff. And like in the wild, the prey and the predator don't have a shame or they don't have that kind of relationship. I remember when I was in 10th grade, I remember my world history teacher, he had this one saying about the police. He said, the problem with the police is they don't show up until after the crime has happened. And so as a person, I have no criminal record. I don't in any way, shape, or form see myself as a predator or anything like that. I'm just a tax-paying citizen with sisters, and I had a mother, but women in my life that I care about. And as a person who at least offers some covering to my sisters and the women in my life, look, there are certain things you just simply aren't supposed to be doing, places you aren't supposed to be going, people that need to be vetted, behavior that needs to be monitored. And you're hearing in this situation, the woman, she went to drink with some person, and then all of a sudden something happened and something got slipped in her drink, and the covering is just not there, right? You shouldn't be going out. Who is this person you're going out with? I want to come with you. I want you to go out with these particular people because I trust them. There was none of that. Okay, but we're going to hear the rest of the story, so keep listening.
Your mama should be somewhere crying. I've had enough of this. Like, my heart can't take it. This woman came to, and all she kept saying was my kids. Now. So I'm gonna take it back a little bit, but I want you to remember now. We're going to talk about predator and prey. Men that are the bad dudes, this does not work on them. The guys, the Jeffrey Dahmer thing is out now, right? Like, if that person is a predator, your pleas of mercy just they're not going to work. This plea is, she's saying,
please stop doing this. And I mean, to me, I'm not even, of course, men like me that have, functioning lives, and we're not the ones that need to be appealed to here. The appeal needs to be to a man that's in your life that's supposed to cover you, right? And if that covering isn't there, this is an empty appeal, because you're appealing to people who are covering other people. As if I'm a husband, it's my job to cover my wife and my daughters. If you're appealing to those men, you're appealing to the wrong men. If you're appealing to men that have nothing invested, they have zero to invest in any particular woman other than I'll help as much as I can, but I'm not going to risk my life. And for the remaining group of men who are the ones you're appealing to that may actually be the predators, those men are not going to be moved by this appeal. But let's keep listening.
This woman came to it, all she kept saying was my kids. Now I work in the adult side of ER, so I had no idea that there were 3 kids brought into the ER. But after she had her drink, she left her little friends and she went to hang out, went and picked up her kids after she hung out.
Okay, now let's listen to the particulars. And I don't mean in any way, shape, or form to blame anyone for what happened here. It's a very sad story. It's very sad. It's extremely unfortunate, because maybe there was a loss of life, or at least there was a serious accident in this situation. But listen to the particulars of what happened. We just said a friend. We don't know who the friend is. For all we know, maybe even the police don't even know who the friend is. This might have been someone who made up a profile in a dating app, saw that this person is uncovered, got them on separated from their family, whatever, and had some clandestine ideas in mind. And whatever happened, it endangered not just her, but her children. Take a listen to these particulars, because it's not lost on me to hear the situation that she was in. Take a listen.
There were 3 kids brought into the ER, but after she had her drink, she left her little friends and she went to hang out, went and picked up her kids after she hung out. This woman was driving home. She wrecked her damn car. Okay, she wrecked her car with her kids in it. When she came to, all she kept talking about was her kids. So I went over there to check on her kids. One of her kids is in ICU right now having surgery. And all that baby was, they said that baby can see my mommy. Well, your mommy is in here for to have surgery too.
Now, this is extremely sad. It's very sad, and it's really unfortunate that, especially for the kids, to be in this situation. Again, when I talk about the covering, you're out drinking. If you have your husband at home, the kids are with him. You go out drinking. Even I probably wouldn't want my wife to be out drinking, but okay, you want to have a good time with your friend, go out and have a good time with a friend. The kids are home with dad. And in this situation, they're not home with dad. And that's another problem, because even the kids are without a proper covering. And so this makes the kids endangered even more so. And it's just really sad all the way around, because you're seeing 4 people in the situation, none of whom of which are properly covered by an invested male person. And so they're all vulnerable. And so the decision to have the drink and then get your kids into the car and drive the car without, instead of, even if it's just, babe, the kids are home with me, just catch an Uber back home. That takes the kids out of the danger. But the decision to have the drink and then get back in the car and drive while that drink is inside your system, and then let your kids get into the car and then start driving again with the kids in the car, that's a series of decisions that need to be vetted by someone who has an investment in covering this family.
I kept saying, sweetheart, do you have a number, or your mom, your dad, anybody I can call to get them up here with these kids? Like, oh my God, yo, we gotta do something. Y'all gotta get this out here. People gotta know it. This is not a damn game, because there's too many of us nurses sitting in our cars crying, trying to pull it together so we can go back in and complete our job. Now I gotta work 9 more damn hours.
Mm-hmm. So she needed to call someone, and there was no husband to call, right? And look, I am not trying to pick about this video to try and make anyone a scapegoat here. What I'm saying is, if you are a single mother with 3 children and you run into your trouble and you don't have a contact number, this is my husband, tell my husband to get down here, then this kind of situation is possible. And what I fear is that as things continue to, I don't want to say deteriorate, things just aren't the same as they've always been. They're not what we're used to. And we're seeing these kinds of incidents increase. These people putting these fentanyl tablets or these fentanyl napkins on women's cars and doing these little things where they're putting the little drug whatever on people's on money, so when people bend down they get it on their fingers and stuff like that. And one of the benefits that men have is we live in a life where we're not allowed excuses. We live in a life where if something happens to us, we have to account for the fact that we did not get the job done. So this makes us much more aware of our surroundings. When men walk at night, we have our antennas up in a way that is different. We're looking around. We're taking in information. How many people are there? What direction are they walking in? Where's the nearest street light? If this person is behind me is going to confront me, how am I going to confront? We're doing a lot of calculus, especially when we're with someone that we care about that's under our covering. If you can ask any man with a daughter, walking with his daughter at night, what kind of calculations he's doing in his head when he's walking at night with that daughter with him. It doesn't have to be at night. A man with a daughter, period. She goes on a date. He's calculating where they are, what time they are, a host of things that just come naturally to us. And so when I watch this video, it's sad because this woman is so distraught because she's seeing this over and over and over. Let's listen to a little bit more.
I'm on a 16-hour shift. I gotta work 9 more hours. And my brain is so focused on just taking care of them kids that I don't want to see no other patients. Y'all are ripping me apart and I can't do this. Y'all, I need y'all to start getting guns. Carry your guns with you. Shoot them where they stand. I've had enough.
Okay, so that's enough of that. But see, what she's saying, it makes sense in practicality, but the problem is the beginning of this encounter, it was a date. She was invited on the date. She went willingly. Whoever she met was a person that needed to be vetted by a man that she can trust. And when that's missing, and to go a step further, if this man knew that she was a single mother of 3 children, there's an old RPing saying that says, a single mother is not looking for love, she's looking for help. And if she's in a situation, if she has 3 single children, 3 children and she's single and she's just looking for somebody to be with her, that is just, is walking into the trap if you're dealing with someone who is looking to violate. Oh, if that were my sister, I would say, who is his name? Where is he at? Tell me his last name. There's a whole host of information I need to get from that person. And that's just as a brother, right? And if I'm a father, I'm probably going to go there and meet the guy. I say all of this to say, we have in our society kind of reduced the presence of a person who covers women, a brother covering a sister, a dad covering a daughter, an uncle covering his nieces and nephews, or his nieces. We've kind of seen the role of a male basically turn into provide for the family. But there's more than that. Men offer more than that. Men offer protection, covering, looking out for, and we are undervaluing that. Now, I want to wrap this up by saying this. It is an extremely unfortunate situation. And this woman is getting burnt out, most likely because she's seeing a lot of uncovered women come in there because they are getting targeted by some of these predators. And it's happening over and over and over, and it's breaking her. Women need covering. Men are more than just how much money you can bring home with a check. And so when we see, and I'm not trying to make this a passport bros and thing or anything, but what men want is a woman that understands this. I need the covering of a man. And a man saying, I will cover you, I will defend you with my life. Just give me your feminine light and I'll give you the last breath inside of me. But when we have a generation, several generations of people that are saying, if you don't make more money than me, if you don't make $100,000, you're not a man, then that covering gets removed. And it's extremely unfortunate, but I want to make this one plea to women, especially women in America. Stop assuming that things are always going to be as safe and as normal as they have been. The world is changing and you need to make precautions to be safe. I'm telling that to my daughter on a daily basis. I tell it to all the women in my family that I care about. You have to make provisions for a world becoming more cutthroat, more dangerous, more predatory, because that's what's coming. And you need the covering of a man for you and your children. And if that man doesn't make $100,000, $75,000 and you think you could throw him away, it doesn't work that way. You saw in the video earlier, that lion didn't walk up and say, I got some money, I'm a real lion. That lion said, hey, listen, I'm ready to defend my woman to the death because that's what we do. And guess what happened? So anyways, I don't want to make this too long, but men offer more than just resources. Men offer covering. And we have to find people, especially women that value that. There is a value in a man that is willing to take a bullet for his wife. A man that's willing to stand in the gap and say, the buck stops here. This is my family. I'm willing to defend my family, at least so that my family can get away. And when you discount that based on how much money he makes, you get this. You get this. Sorry. This. And this woman has been run through the ringer because she's seeing uncovered woman after uncovered woman after uncovered woman come into her room, in her ER room, and it's just sad results. Men are more than just money and genetic material. We offer covering. And that covering is priceless. Thank you for watching the video. Please like and subscribe. And if you have time, please comment, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one.